Welcome. I'm David.
I'm Lindsay.
That's it.
This Desmonds, Donders.
It's windy and often rainy. We're at Lochindorb again, hoping that it's not as bad as last time. It's September, the weather is not as good, so let's see how the weekend goes. Blue skies at the moment. Lochindorb is doing its usual and providing every kind of weather. If the wind drops, we'll fly the drone. If the wind drops, we'll maybe go for a walk. But the blue skies are a lovely thing to see. There's been no let up in the wind all day, so far no drone flying. The sun is going to go down soon. We'll see if there's a sunset to be captured, but the loch, as you can see, is still showing white caps. These guys visited, or these girls visited last night. They won't be staying long because they'll find, just like last night, there's nothing here for them to eat. First time I've had a chance to get out. It's still a little breezy and a little windy. It was the first time being able to talk on the microphone for a while. And it's the start of what we hope is a cracking sunset. I'll just leave it, let you look at it for a little while. It's quite enough of that. We'll move and we'll have a look at the castle. There's Lochindorb Castle, and it's something we spoke about plenty of times. So in this video, although the description will contain what I would normally tell you about the castle, I'm going to leave it this time to the description. You have heard me talk about it plenty of times. It hasn't been at all warm all day, only about 12 degrees. And with the sun dipping and below the clouds, you can feel the temperature changing already. I'm guessing it's going to be a cold one tonight. It's September, but I know a friend of mine has already had to remove ice from his windscreen. Must be global warming, obviously. I've come back out. I'm just going to show you that the sun put on a great display as it dips down behind the hills. Not quite sunset, and the days of the midnight sun are over. In fact, when I was doing my midnight sun video from here, the sun was setting nearly 90 degrees round. But at this time of year, it sets a lot earlier. It is asserted by historians that the site of Lochindorb Castle was initially a crannog or fortified retreat. 1236, King Alexander II chose the area as his hunting domain, which they called the Forest of Leasnich and Braemoray at the time. 1260 to 1280, the Comyns of Badenoch were the first recorded owners of Lochindorb Castle. 1300, historical records refer to the death of Black John Comyn, who died at the castle in 1300. Bruce slew Black John's son at Dumfries. Edward I of England returned from Flanders to defeat Wallace and invade Scotland. He took up residence in Lochindorb Castle. Edward Longshanks enforced draconian conditions as he forced the North Kingdoms to submit to this rule. Inverness, Nairn, Forres and Elgin surrendered to his forces, and after a lengthy siege, Castle Urqhart surrendered to King Edward. 1303 to 1306, historians speculate Edward I entirely rebuilt or made extensive modifications to the castle. The irregular shape and curtain walls and towers that were bell-shaped at the base show how strong the Edwardian architectural influences were. One of the last surviving Scottish yetts or iron gates of Lochindorb Castle remains in Cawdor Castle to this day. 1326. The grandson of Black John reclaimed the castle until his death, marking the end of the direct line of one of the most important and potent Scottish families. Stay with us for more on Lochindorb Castle. Sunset. Not so good as last night, but still another one. And Lindsay will be here soon. And we just got zapped by a car. How do they know when the camera goes on? If it gets any better, I'll put it back on. You just know it was going to get better as soon as I said I was going to switch off. Some people ask why I love it here, and this is part of the reason. When I arrived here, it was grey, overcast. Then it was wild and stormy, and then it produced a lovely sunset. We've had a calm day today instead of wild and stormy. And while this isn't as good or as lovely as last night's sunset, it's beautiful in its own way. Lochindorb, it never fails to deliver. More about the castle. 1335. Sir Andrew Moray laid siege to Lochindorb Castle. A civil war was at its peak with the rival claims between David Bruce and Edward Balliol to Scotland's throne. The Earl of Athol was slain while laying siege to Kildrummy Castle, the seat of Christian Bruce. The Earl of Athol's wife fled to Lochindorb, which was then under siege by Moray for 7 months. 1336. King Edward came to the castle with 500 horsemen and had no success in his attempt to crush Moray. Moray escaped through the surrounding forest. Legend states that Moray would not be hurried when the army approached, and instead calmly finished his prayers and had part of his armour repaired before fleeing. 1342. The castle was the scene for the imprisonment and death of William Bullock, the turncoat once Chamberlain of Balliol. When he fell out of favour, they imprisoned him in the water pit dungeon of Lochindorb, where he died of cold and hunger. For 25 years, from 1342 to 1367, Lochindorb functioned as a state prison, and then David II granted the castle to Simon Reed, the Constable of Edinburgh Castle. King Robert II granted the lands and forest of Badenoch to his son, Alexander, Earl of Buchan. This fierce and evil man was named the Wolf of Badenoch. The Wolf had bitter dealings with the church and often seized the wealth of Moray and Badenoch's churchmen. After excommunication, the Wolf burned down the cathedral church of Elgin. 1455. Archibald Douglas heavily fortified the castle and then broke into open rebellion against the king. The family was accused of treason by fortifying and forming a garrison in the castle against the king. The Douglas clan suffered defeat at Arkinholm, and the castle and lands fell forfeit to the crown. Royal orders stated that the castle was to be dismantled due to its situation and power, and the Thane of Cawdor undertook the control of the dismantling of the castle. It remains the property of the Cawdor estate. In 1612, John Grant of Frenchy exchanged lands in Glenlivet and Strathaven and for land in Abernathy and Inverallen, which included the castle. In 1950, Lochindorb is declared a scheduled monument. The classification designated is that of Castle, Medieval, Human Remains, Period, Unassigned. It's grey. Not quite horrible, but definitely grey today. We're having a look. I'm really out to test a new tripod. I don't know about you, but I like it. And another shot of the castle. Again, testing the new tripod. I like the way it feels, and we'll see how it goes. Not quite as windy today as it was the other day, but not so bad. Lindsay's out for a walk, so there'll be some pictures of that in this video.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Thank you for watching Desmonds Donders. And remember, please take nothing but memories and leave nothing but tracks. Please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications, and hopefully we'll see you next time.